All right, everybody. So my name is Justin Evans. I am the manager of Phoenix 81 FC. I am also back-to-back Premier League champion for the last 2 years and also the Barton Cup. So I'm the first one to ever win the double, and I've done it back-to-back years. So you guys have something to live up to in me. I'm going to go through a video here. So this is Fantrax. There I am. I'm going to go into the draft room first. So this is where we'll be today. So you can see on the side, this is the roster, the players you have up until now. I don't have that many players anymore because we've done the drop. And this is all the available players. You can sort it through different ways. You can search for one by name. You can auto draft based upon different things, like your rankings that you could have set, their fantasy points from last year, or their average draft position. So based on what other drafts have done, because Diego Costa says he's the number one player left, but he probably won't play this year. Off to the side, you can see where your draft picks are and how they move up. That's been changed as well and updated to be accurate. So that's the draft room. You come over here to players. This is where all players are. You can see where they're designated as on waiver wire. And so I'll explain that in a little bit. Right now, actually. So if you click on a waiver wire person, you have to actually go down and it'll say, are you sure that you want to take him? So the waiver wire, the way it works, just so everyone is clear on that, is there is an order. It's been randomized to start at the beginning of the year. We'll start waiver wires. They're going to run from tomorrow night until waiver wire claims will process every night starting tomorrow night, Sunday night at 8 p.m. And they're going to process every night until Friday. So Friday at 8 p.m. will be the last time they process, and then they will only process once a week on Tuesday nights at 8 is when waiver wires will go, because after Friday night, it'll be on a free agent basis. So those who have not done waiver wires before, if you are in the waiver wire queue, you're going to let's say you're sixth in the queue. You don't move up on that list until people ahead of you have claimed a player and you have not claimed a player. So you can technically stay on top of the list forever if you never claim anybody. As soon as you put a claim in for a player, you go to the back of the list. So that's how that's going to work. To find out where you are on that list, you go to the top of the Fantrax thing where it says home, ranked players, draft room, standings, players, and you go to transactions and you can see the waiver wire order. So it's your claim priority. So right now, Be the Reds is on top. If he makes a claim, if we all put in a claim for the same player, he gets that player because he's first in the order. And then you would get the next person. So you're going to have to put in probably a lot of claims to get the people you want to round out your squad by Friday, because you can have up to 25 players. And I can tell you from experience that it gets to be a struggle towards the end of the year with injuries and double game weeks, things like that, to have a full starting 11 when all that's happening. And that can make or break you. There was a couple games where I had, that's how I ended up losing Mane, because I had to drop somebody in order to have a healthy player on my team, just to have those extra points to get a win as opposed to a loss. And it was a tight season last year, so you got to do what you got to do to make that happen. So let's go over to the team roster, and this is where you'll actually set your lineup. Legal roster has to have at least 3 defenders in it, and then you can do the rest however you want. The grade part is your bench, and then the green part is your reserves. So the bench is where your subs will be pulled from, and so you want to make sure that if you want a keeper on your bench, he needs to be in a gray area and not a green area like that. And I'm colorblind, so those colors might be wrong, but you get the idea. So the spot right below your starting 11, and you'll submit your changes on the top. You can change it by lineup period. Players aren't locked in your lineup until 1 minute before their games start. So you can still, like in the middle of a game week, if you can still swap out Company for David Luiz, So this is the draft. Kind of explain this for keepers when it comes down to it. So you got contracts now. So we have 3-year contracts. So all the players you have starting now will be on a 3-year contract. So a 3-year contract, and the way it's going to work for keepers going forward, you can keep 25 keepers, a total of 25 keepers. So you can keep your whole team next year, but they'll be in the 2nd year of their contract, which means you're going to lose some draft picks. So let's say you keep 5. Let's say you keep 5 guys on the 2nd year of their contract. You're going to lose the last 5 picks of your draft next year because they're in year 2 of their contract. But you've only kept 5 guys, so you're going to do picks 1 through 15. Let's say you keep 5 guys for the 3rd year of their contract. You're going to lose 5 picks on the front end of your draft. So you won't pick until the 6th round. That's how it's going to work. So the idea here, the strategy is going to be to get rid of players, because after 3 seasons with you, they expire completely. But if you trade them to another team, that player resets to year 1 of their contract. So let's say after a couple of years, you keep 3 guys for the 2nd year and 4 guys for the 3rd year. Then you're going to lose your last 3 picks. And you're going to lose your first 4 for keeping those guys. So it definitely encourages some player movement, because if I have Aguero and we're going to the 3rd year, but I don't want to lose a 1st-round draft pick, I can sell him. I can trade him to another player that has Kane, who is in the same boat, and we both still keep a really good player for this, and it'll be like the 1st year. So you'll have a couple weeks at the end of the season to get all this straightened out. So we figure probably about 2 weeks after the FA Cup final, we will be able to do those things. So you'll have 3 weeks after the end of the season to decide who you're going to keep, and that gives you an opportunity to make those trades during those 3 weeks before you decide which keepers you're going to keep. So you can make those trades after the season, and then you can go into the next season with Kane or Aguero or whoever you want to keep in the 1st year of their contract if you can work out a trade with somebody. So hopefully all that makes sense, but we're here to answer any questions, Daniel, Josh, and I. So just hit us up, and we'll answer as many questions as we can. Sorry if this video was a little loopy. That's 6:30 in the morning right now, and I'm trying to get this done before the kids wake up. Looking forward to the draft and another good season, and that's it. Thanks, guys. Bye.